Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 11:05 a.m. on the 12th of March 2024. Nice day outside, bit breezy, currently 28 degrees according to my laptop. And so it's sort of warmish, but there's a nice cooling breeze, so it's not so bad actually. And I've not long got out of bed. I had another rough night, but I'm alive. I'm cooking on gas, and I'm happening in a far out way. So here we go, another day in paradise. I put Charlie outside, and then I thought, I'll bring her in while I do the videos. The video singular, because she likes companionship, don't we all? So tomorrow I go back to see the private urologist, and to let her know that the medication I'm on isn't working, and that I've been booked in for the urodynamics testing. So I mean, she probably already knows that. I wonder if I even should cancel that appointment, because it seems like double booking, but I guess it's best that she sees me in person herself and literally gets it from the horse's mouth where I'm at, rather than third party Chinese whispers through the system, right? So there is that. I'm still quite tired, as you can see, and but today is going to be a good day. Yesterday was a good day in spite of the stress of having to get myself to the hospital and the booking and everything, but it's all good, babies. It's all good. I'm on my way to healing my mind, body and spirit, but in particular healing my bladder as much. Well, it can't be healed, but calm down the nerve signaling, so as much as possible, and then I can maybe have some kind of a quality of life again after 8 years. Time will tell. We shall see what we shall see. Today's offerings of 12th of March 2024 is entitled Power to the People. Own it, dance it, enchantment. And I posted a photo by Miguel Bruna on Unsplash, which is just stock photos that are available on Vocal Media, of a young woman raising her fist in a gesture of power. 12th of March 2023. Today has not been a good day. I managed to accidentally melt holes in my Smith Little torch hoses. Oh dear goddess, that was a tragedy, especially since the thing was only new and I'm still paying it off. Anyway, you get that. Shit happens. The silver I was casting melted perfectly. I was so proud of the fact that it melted fairly quickly and well this time. I raised up the crucible to get ready to pour into my sand casting, but the tongs I had for it slipped, pouring silver, which splattered at my feet and burned tiny holes in my hoses. I was very fortunate, as I had bare feet. It didn't splatter on my bare feet as well. Very fortunate. So Mama T indulges in rather dangerous hobbies, potentially dangerous hobbies, and that was a lesson hard learned, losing my beautiful torch so soon in the game, right? I immediately turned off the oxygen and fuel at the tanks. It was a brand new oxygen cylinder exchange too, so I probably lost a lot of that oxygen. It's quite frightening. You could hear it all hissing and blowing all out. So I'm still not completely over that mistake, but I'm a beginner trying to do advanced, an advanced technique, and learning from YouTube, which is all very well, but nobody tells you that the tongs can slip. Those kind of things go wrong. Anyway, I learnt my lesson. I went out and bought a very, very expensive, very strong, powerful tong crucible holder, and it can't slip out anymore. So I made sure I covered that base, and then I just have to find the money for a new little Smith torch kit with hoses, and I'll be able to start practicing again, this time without blowing out hoses, right? So I'm on that journey. It's my next goal, is to replace that. It's been, since a year ago on one of my goals, but I always run out of money. Looking at my seed tree, manifest money, little seed tree, you sweet little baby. Anyway, it will come when the gods allow it, and not before, and when I make up my mind, and not before, and it will come. But it's 11:11 a.m. Make a wish, people. There we go. New Smith little hoses cost $400 plus GST, so $440, which I will have to think hard about, as I'm still paying off the torch. So it was an expensive mistake, and I feel quite rattled. I'm still upset about it to this day, actually. I was excited about a ring I had cast with stones in place that I bought recently. I guess it's back to the drawing board I go. What I meant was I bought the little stones recently, not the ring I was making. Yes, back to the drawing board indeed, baby girl. What can we do? What can we do? But learn and improve on my skills, babies. That's what we can do. On top of my weird day, there is now a massive rainstorm, so I was lucky to get everything back inside in time before that hit. Note to self, I also need to buy the expensive but hopefully more reliable or stable crucible holder, as this was just an awful waste of my time and resources. Yes, indeed it was, and I did buy the good crucible holder. Oh well, at least I achieved Yoda. The Force is with me, lol, because I cast Yoda out of sterling silver. I was very excited about that. That was an achievement because it took me about 5 or 6 attempts to get his ears right. He kept getting his ears missing and something was never quite right. Anyway, I got there in the end. 12th of March 2021. Janice Ian, who is the wonderful folk singer from the 70s and still writes her own music and still performing, I think, to this day. That the woman that sang, at 17, I learned the truth that love is meant for beauty queens and everyone but you, or words to that effect. At 17, I met my husband, and the rest is, well, 2 children and a couple of nice homes and a business, but I don't even want to think about it now. What I didn't know at 17 that I know now. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Every other young woman that ever got married so young and naive and stupid is laughing with me now. Also vomiting in our mouths a little bit and probably crying as well. But never mind. Some of you married young and married your truest, deepest loves and had long, happy, wonderful, blessed lives. So it really is just a matter of luck, finding the right person at the right time, even if you married far too young. There is such a thing as true love out there, people. Mama T just never experienced it, before, so there is that. So I mustn't be bitter. I certainly gave it a good go. I stayed in that marriage for 10.5 years, which was 10 years longer than I should have. I was determined to be a successful wife and mother, and I failed, but not because of my own lack of trying. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't actually. It was not possible to sustain that relationship. It was crazy that I even poured so much energy into it for so long. But I'm a very proud person, and I didn't want to admit that I'd made a terrible mistake. And anyway, if I'd left him, there was nowhere to go. I didn't have a supportive, loving family, which I found out when I finally did leave him, just prior to my 30th birthday. My own family kicked me in the face at every quarter when I left him. So it was, I almost died. So it was not nice what I was put through. But anyway, moving on, 29 years later, I'm actually kind of happy with where I'm at in life now. I mean, I've got nothing, not going anywhere fast. You will have nothing and you'll be happy, the Wethers say, after they've divested people of their health and their lifestyles and their homes and businesses and safety. Fucking assholes. But in a way, I am kind of happy because I've survived it. I've fought my way through it, sometimes single-handedly. And I'm an amazing, wonderful person, and life is getting better because I've made it so. My psychiatrist has made it so with organising and paying for this urologist. My beautiful, loyal, loving friends of 36 years and 32 years and some even longer have made it so. And life is beautiful, people. But you have to fight your way through sometimes. It wasn't easy. But anyway, where was I? 2021, Janice Ian posted a quote. Your nervous system isn't just a fiction. It's a part of our physical body, and our soul exists in space and is inside us, like the teeth in our mouth. It can't be forever violated with impunity. Ain't that the truth? Eventually, even your nervous system cracks a massive fucking shit and things have to change or you don't survive. It's as simple as that. She also attached to that a cartoon of, I'll show it to you, not really a cartoon, but a kind of a meme. Little African children running wild and free in the savannah lands. Did you know that kids in North America are forced to sit in classrooms all day? And if they move around, get excited, or make too much noise, they are given drugs to keep them quiet. Their main source of exercise is playing video games, and most of their food is fake and full of dangerous chemicals. And another little boy replies, "That's terrible. We should take up donations for them." Ironic but true. So I replied, "Amen, sister. Although drinking cow's blood straight from the jugular is not my cup of tea, just saying. One man's beef is another man's blood-curdling spew, I guess." But of course it's the Maasai tradition, And I suppose it would be very healthy, all that iron and anyway. So you see, one man's food source is another man's poison, literally. We are poisoned in the West. We are, every single day, in every single way. Air, water, radiation, EMFs. I'm being poisoned right now making this video for you. Anyway, I continue on because it's important that we record our histories and our truths, people. I think it's important. I could be running around in the savannah lands, half naked and free. That would be a beautiful thing, people. But I wouldn't be safe in that environment either without the appropriate training and life skills that you would learn in the various African tribes. I'd be running around half naked, having a wonderful time living in Titania's realm, and some fucking lion would probably snap my neck. Anyway, happy thoughts, people. You always got to look on the bright side of life. 1:11 a.m. Angels, my goodness, I am exhausted. But thank you to all that love me, uplift me, inspire me, and hold me precious in safety, in perpetuity, in sanctity, and in sanity. Lila Tov, see you on the flip side. Lila Tov means good night. 12th of March 2020. My midwife sent my former husband home. He was abusive and useless anyway. I should never have had another child with him after that. But Jasmine was a surprise. An actual very big surprise. And I fought both my husband and mother to keep her. They wanted me to have an abortion. That's how ruthless they were. A woman with a freehold home, a little, 18-month baby girl who'd fallen pregnant again, wanted me to abort my child for no good reason. We were perfectly capable financially of affording another child, even though she was a surprise. It was disgusting how they treated me. So I fought to keep my baby in a marriage, having to fight to keep your child. And I should have walked out then and there with Crystal, with a baby in my belly, and just started a new life. Then that was my second major warning that I was in a family of monsters. But no, what did I do? Went into denial again. Carried on, soldiered on, shouldered everything, took all their crap and carried on, incubating another child by my will and choice, because the gods had granted that she was gifted to this womb, and I took responsibility and owned it and raised her as best as I could, only to have them both resent and hate me now. Oh, the irony. Never mind, life goes on, people. Would I do that again after decades of horror and grief and trauma? Nope, I really wouldn't. Just as well, I was completely oblivious at the time. Cognitive dissonance can be such a gift. _12th of March 2019. I had a lovely visit with Lynn and Danny today. Danny's one of Lynn's 3 daughters. We talked a long time about my past exploits and old traumas. It was good to look back with hindsight and be able to tell my truths without breaking into tears, a sign of healing after several decades. Life truly is miraculous, but most amazing of all are my bright, beautiful, soulful friends. Love you. 12th of March 2018. Less than lovely what Tim Winton learnt about today's men while surfing. Tim Winton is an amazing Australian author. He wrote Cloud Street, which is probably one of my favourite books of all time. It's so beautifully written and spiritual and down to earth, full of heart and Aussie larrikinism and kind of a little bit satirical in some ways. And it's just wonderful. And he also wrote Breathe, and he often writes about, the Australian beach and surfing, and he wrote another book that was about domestic violence, which was excruciating for me personally to read. But he's a very talented author. So anyway, I commented on that. I absolutely adored his novel Cloud Street. I have read Breath, but found not nearly as good. He mainly writes about surfing. I read another of his books of short stories which focused on domestic violence and was raw and brittle and powerful. I saw the play Cloud Street. It is an amazing story, redolent with spirituality, and I highly recommend both reading the book and seeing the play. It was fantastic. It really was. So, I can't remember what the book of short stories was. I was actually reading at the time when my relationship with Courtney, my last boyfriend of 5 years, that relationship ended in 2010. Shortly after my mother died, actually decided to kick me in the face with that one. But anyway, some men are dogs and cowards. It's the nature of the beast. But anyway, I was reading that. Actually, I was reading him some of the short stories from it, and I actually lent him the book, which I don't believe I got back either. And fucking arsehole. And but anyway, he instead of learning from the book, he decided to escalate in threats to me. So ironic. But bear in mind, he was out of his mind on drugs all the time. So we weren't dealing with a human entity. It was absolutely, taken over by something hideous, and not a very nice person as he proved to be. And I don't regret actually that relationship ending. It was getting more and more dangerous, and something was going to give, and it would have been very, very bad for one of us. And I'm glad I got out of it. All right, Charlie girl. It didn't help that his friends were constantly threatening me as well. So, but this is what low-level entities they really were. They were just dogs. And it's not even... Dogs are actually wonderful creatures. They were just things. All of them. All of them were things. And then he used to threaten me with one of his mates who was actually a child abuse survivor in the foster system. So we had a little bit of a kinship because we understood each other's level of trauma. And he threatened me with that man, said, he's gonna kill you if he sees you. I said, what for? I've done nothing to any of you, really. What have I done? It was really loop. Anyway, some years later, I was standing at the QE2 hospital. I'd just come out from an appointment, one of my probably with my teeth, because I had a few years of really bad teeth problems. And I was downstairs, went to get a coffee, and there's his mate, Donnie, who he said was going to kill me if he saw me. Wow, Donnie was so fucking excited to see me, wasn't he? Yes. You always find out the truth in the end about people's true hearts and intentions. So I stood in the queue and I just nodded. G'day, Donnie. G'day, Tanya. 'Cause I own my shit and my power, baby boys. And he was so astonished that I had the courage to stand there and, g'day. I said, what are you doing here, Donnie? You sick? He says, no, my missus is upstairs. She's sick and she's had an operation or some shit. Can't remember what it was now. Hip replacement or some awful thing. Pretty awful. And I met his wife, actually, when I was friends with Courtney. When I was with Courtney. And I said to him, all right. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope she gets better soon. He's like, yeah, me too. And then we had a little chat because I actually attended their wedding. They'd been living together for many years and had kids, but then they got married, which was sweet. And I said to him, I still remember, your lovely wedding, what a lovely time we all had there. And he looked at me with he's only a short man like me, but he stood up and put his shoulders back and he said, my wedding was the happiest day of my life. And I said to him, it really was. And I said to him, yes, I know, it was a lovely day. And then I kind of said, oh, well, nice seeing you around. I went off on my way. And I thought, how bizarre. This was the man that Courtney constantly said was going to kill me when he saw me. That they were so out of their mind on drugs. They didn't know shit from clay, literally. Anyway. So I'm looking forward to getting into a relationship one day with a decent, honouring man, though, who doesn't threaten me, doesn't get his friends to threaten me, doesn't get his business associates to threaten me, and actually truly loves me and is a decent, honouring, loving man. Do you think it's even possible? Yes. But by the gods, took me a long time to actually get over all of that nasty, evil shit. I mean, it's 14 years later. 14 years it's taken me to recover. Jesus, what a waste of a life, man. What a terrible, terrible waste, what they all put me through. But that's all right. They'll face their own karma. Donnie was perfectly sweet with me. And you know why? Because I fought and said he's entitled to compensation from those filthy fucking Christian brothers and the torture he put him through as a child. I said, Courtney, you cunt. I said, you make sure you tell him to sign up for that, the redress scheme. I said, you make sure he gets compensated. So Donnie knew that even though they didn't particularly like this Jewish girl, I still had his back in that issue alone. By the gods. Anyway. _12th of March 2017. I stayed home last night and variously passed out with exhaustion during the evening. I went to bed at 10:30 p.m. My spirit wanted to dance, but the excruciating pain down my left leg from the pinched sciatic nerve, still not healed and not surprising, pardon me, given I dosed myself up with Panadine and passionately supercharged my body into the fray to thrash and mosh in a spectacle of middle-aged time fighting and sanity on Friday night, simply would not allow it. Can you believe this was in 2017? So 7 years later, Mama T is still, how did I put it? Passionately supercharging my body into the fray to thrash and mosh in a spectacle of middle-aged, well, I'm getting a bit past middle-aged now, I'm entering my senior years. Time fighting insanity on Friday nights. I'm still doing it. You go, girl. You bloody go. As no man, woman or child gets to steal my freedom and my right to enjoy what's left of my life and the dance. I ran out of Panadeine, so tried ice gel instead. Nup, leg still is contorted in rivers of pain, no respite. I will have to buy more Panadeine Fort and rest more, or wait this agony out. But by the gods, I have proven I have the stamina of 10 horses, even if my body rebels. I am fabulous. I am frustratingly putting my life together in a battle to the end stage, as I missed out on so very, very much in decades of zombified pharmaceutical haze and psychological trauma after many, many attacks on my life, on my safety, on my reputation. In the end, we are but dust, albeit stardust, and as I once wrote to a former lover come bitter enemy who really should have known better, that was David Davidson, by the way, my star is rising. Oh, how they feared my star rising, by the way. Wanted me downtrodden, face in the mud, kicked half to death. Each time I rose up, it was a force of nature and of defiance and of will that even had them quivering in their jocks, by the way. Never, ever fuck with the Tanya. I'd been put through enough since early childhood. Now waiting for the gods of light, love and truth to pluck my shining star from the obsidian sky and move me to another template. Like at primary school, those felt cut-out pictures on a felt background capriciously placed there in scenes of explication and contemplation to appease a 5-year-old. How long must I wait? At least until I receive harmonic resonance and balance out the trauma of my current existence with a big love that more than compensates for the utter mindless degradation of the fake loves of the past 52 years. Family, foes, and former lovers. Fickled, pickled, stickled fucktards of fate. I have to laugh. I have seen true and enduring loves, my beautiful, generous, respectful friends, my animals, and my invisible, guiding gods and goddesses that gently spun me around and brought me back up on my feet again and again until I healed enough to manifest this safe place inside of me. And I am seeing the big, big love manifesting all around me too in the last, well, I was a bit in denial about it 2 years ago. I was pushing it down, but I am seeing it now. I'm seeing the big, big love just blooming for me beautifully. Thank you, my darlings. This government home I call sacred space, a condescending gift and a nod to the acrimonious damage this government did to me in their systemic abuse as I was a mere woman, a mother, and an unloved, unprotected, devalued daughter, wife, sister. My safe place is built on illusion, delusion, hope, and gratitude. It can be taken away as whimsically as it arrived. So we wait, my inner gods and I. We wait and we yearn in childlike projection for the confection of comfort and true, abiding love partnership, always waiting for our lives to manifest and unfold like a pop-up book in delightful 5D splendor, what I could not achieve in 3D veracity. It's all illusion, people. Donald Trump is president. My true love is hiding elusively from me. Actually, he wasn't really hiding. He was there in plain sight, but I didn't realize what was going on. Still kind of astonished, people. But anyway, it can't happen because of the situations. But I can see he has heartfelt, sincere, sweet feelings towards me, even if it can only ever remain platonic friendship. And the sea monkeys have my money. Oh, those bloody sea monkeys. How do we reframe this absolute debacle in a positive way? Lessons will be repeated until they are learned. Yeah, right. Fuck that shit. Kill me, Billy. Shh. Don't be silly. You have to ride the storm to a new conclusion. It is the journey, not the destination. It is the punctuation, not the psychobabble. It is what it is. I have performed miracles in my own life before. I will sit with myself and my amazement. Chasing dragons and psychedelic dreams is hard work. Let us eat cake and pull back the curtain on the fakes. My first words shall be my last. Cup of tea? What are you doing up there, Charlie? She's walking along the curtain rail. Anyway, 12th of March 2015. Boiling hot night. I have changed my sheets, now lathered in sweat from the effort. I have an urge to go out and run wild. It must be the heat. So I'm making melted cheese on toast and trying to be good instead. Trying. 12th of March 2014. Today I had my 3 weekly debrief, because it used to be 3 weekly before the suicide attempt. My lovely doctor informed me that he had been thinking about my pub dancing for some time, and he has decided that it has been great therapy for me to deal with my traumas each weekend. It's also quite hard work on the coalface, dealing with quite threatening drunk men at times, like bald guy from about 3-4 weeks ago, that motherfucker. It's always a bald guy that wants to start with me too. Isn't that weird? Also, I prefer men with fabulous hair, darlings. Fabulous hair indeed. Anyway, I don't know what that was about actually. That guy was off his nut. Completely off his dial on something, I'm sure. Anyway, he got kicked out in the end, and I was greatly relieved when that happened. Greatly relieved. But I returned to my reading. He said, my doctor, that I am a powerful woman and had a very high intellect. I was able to express myself via dancing and interacting with and being protective of the other women in such a way while maintaining my own avoidance, as he recognizes I am determined to wait forever if I have to, for a kind, sweet, decent bloke who can be my equal partner and not need to be either dominated or expect role play, as that is just a mask and distancing. I need and require a genuine partner with intimacy as well as passion. Indeed I do. A real man with real heart and real intellect and real emotions and real soul, who can be with a real woman with the same qualities and be a king to my queen and treat me with honour and integrity at all times, morning, noon and night, and also be passionately, romantically in love with me as well, because otherwise, what's the point? And, but be an equal, someone with a brain, so I can actually have conversations with them when we're not making mad, passionate love. Well, anyway, I've been working on this manifestation for decades, people. Decades. I almost fell off my chair when he told me that men would find my innate power very exciting, and it's only natural that I protect myself in the way I do while I wait for the right man to step up to the mark and show up. Interesting. I informed him that I am a degenerate 49-year-old in 1 month's time. Pardon me, in 1 month today I'll be 59. Who has nothing and is going nowhere. He said, not at all. You are smart, you have wit, and you are exciting. Isn't that sweet? I told him about the dreadlocked Englishman asking me to role play with him or dominate him, and I said I had decided he was unsuitable, as I am not kinky in my private life at all and need someone who is real and loving. I joked that for domination or role play, the guy would have to pay me handsomely, and it was just a joke. As I've said to you in previous videos, people mistake my power and my strength and my mana and think that I'm a dominatrix. The only thing I'm dominate is my own anxiety and fears and traumas, and living my very best life in my own skin, body, mind and spirit. The only thing I'm wanting to dominate is my own fear of never being really, truly, deeply loved by someone. I'm not interested in those BDSM distortions and perversions, people. So when they bring that to my feet and lay it at my feet, I just have to sort of, ha-ha, and kick it away. I have no interest in having a relationship based on that level of perversion, which is how the whole thing with Dave went completely south. In it. He is completely right. Dreadlock horror movie was weak, inadequate, avoidant, not particularly affectionate, and certainly not in my caliber of intelligence. He also made the very poor tactical error of proving me right when I informed him I abhor game players and superficial men by trawling after my beautiful friend in an attempt to prove what? Only that he looked sort of desperate. My doctor said, "See, you knew he would do that. You were so smart." Well, that is true, but meanwhile, the quest for the best continues, and being smart, avoidant, and powerful, beautiful and weird, broke and older and overweight is not doing much for my mojo, laughing my ass off. My doctor was rather amused when I told him about my homeless friend Brian, who looks forward to hanging out with me when the pub closes at 3 a.m, when I often go and dance for George the busker and Brian and anyone else outside the casino. This was back in 2014 when I still had a bit more energy, people. I couldn't do that now. I literally crawl home after dancing finishes, if the band finishes at 2, and usually have an Epsom salt bath to heal my joints and then fall into bed with exhaustion. But I used to keep dancing in the old days till sometimes dawn, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. I told him Brian came to the pub Saturday night, as I'd told him earlier that I was with my beautiful friend, so wouldn't come up to the casino until 3 a.m. So we still got to hang out. He gave me some pizza and I shared my lemonade, and we were happy as two naughty little kids, while the other men who were hanging around, as they had been trawling after me and my women friends in the pub, practically were banging their heads on the poles outside with confusion and frustration, as I had rejected them all in favour of Brian, who might be homeless and a drunk and psychotic most of the time, but still has more skills in how to treat a woman than they do. Weird, but true. This is a real reflection on our society, people, that mainstream ordinary men in ordinary real world Australian society have no fucking couth or skills when it comes to how to treat a woman. And it takes an old burnt out bikie, a homeless man and a drunk, and yes, he was very often psychotic. He had manners, that man. He had couth. He had respect for women. He treated me like a queen. He was a true friend, platonic friend, never laid a hand on me, never once said anything dirty and lascivious to me. A true friend and a real man. That's the truth, people. People out in the scene probably used to see me hanging with him and cast all sorts of aspersions, which is hilarious because they were wrong, so wrong. He was a wonderful man. So you can never judge a book by its cover, is what I'm saying. I share here an article. Here are the 22 most unbelievable and strange ways people have died. It's morbidly interesting. This is my comment, I thought I was going to spontaneously combust once. Lol. I now have learnt to control my rage, thankfully. Most of the time anyway. But that was a terrifying event. I have never been so blood-curdlingly furious in my life, and my kundalini opened and my whole spine was a river of fire. I felt it shooting up my spine, going up through my face, out through the top of my head, and I was just emanating fire all through my body. It's no accident I have the burning bush as a tattoo, people, and the bush that could not be consumed by fire, by the way. And I was like a flame, and the fury, and I thought, I'm going to have a heart attack and die, or I'm going to just burn up right here, right now. It was that terrifying, even for me, and I had to, I can't remember what I did. I just realised, I thought, my nervous system has just done something astonishing. I knew it was a nervous system conflagration, and I thought, I'm going to die if I keep doing this. This has to stop. I cannot be in a friend. This was actually a female friend that upset me that much. It triggered me that much. I thought, I can't be friends with this person. This person's evil, and I'm reacting to it, and it's life-threatening for me, right? No, I'm done. So I ended that friendship, and I also began to wind up my marriage at the same time. I realised I was surrounded by nothing but toxic, vicious, sadistic, evil, rotting people. And it took that conflagration of my entire nervous system to literally come online. So it was kind of a gift, actually, in a backhanded way, for me to realise, if I stay in these shitty, awful relationships with these shitty, awful people, this was before I'd left my marriage, people, so we're talking around about 1992 this event happened. I thought, I'm going to die. I have to get out of this. And because I had little children, I still stayed in that shitty, fucking defunct relationship, marriage. But anyway, take notice if your nervous system ever does that, people. It's a warning, not just from your own body, mind, and spirit, but from the gods. 12th of March 2011. Still no news from my friends in Tokyo. I hope they are okay. And there was a few comments saying communications are down, I think. I replied, yes, I tried to ring last night, but nothing. I'm hoping I get an email in a few days. Not liking what I'm seeing on the news. Very, very frightening. We must uphold and love each other. Who knows what is next or when? And my then friend replied, indeed. Anyway, it's a shorter video today. Isn't that nice? What a relief. I do tend to have long videos at times, depending on what I've written down or what I want to discuss about it. So on that note, we finished today's... excuse me, I just need to stretch. We finished today's readings of Even Date, and as usual, I hope you gain some insight into life in general, and some insights from my experiential awareness and my struggles and my freedom fighting and my love energy and my delight in my life that is presenting to itself to me now in 2024, where I can see how very much loved I am still by wonderful people like my psychiatrist and my true friends, and how very blessed and grateful I am to have such wonderful human beings in my life, and my birdie, of course, and yes, how astonishingly miraculous it has been to get me to this season and point in my life, and looking forward to more miracles unfolding, my bladder being calmed down and brought back to normal functioning, and maybe one day beginning a beautiful love partnership with a wonderful man who is real and kind and sweet and noble and devoted to me. And finally, at long last, have my loving, happy life that I've always only ever dreamed about and strived very hard to manifest, unfortunately, with the wrong people. So I pray to all the gods that I don't make those kind of mistakes ever again. But I have a feeling that after 25 years of therapy and getting older and wiser and that I may finally be blessed with my true love partner at the appropriate time when the gods allow it and when I allow it. And hopefully it'll be someone who is able, willing, to partner with me with harm to none and competition from none. So it is done. So God's bless. Have a beautiful day, people of earth. Enjoy every day, every moment, every breath. Life is indeed a journey, and it's not actually the destination that counts. It is the journey and the exploration of all that is you, and being surrounded and immersed in God's light and God's love and God's blessings. And if you don't believe in God, just change that word to nature, planet Earth, our home, which begins inside our own hearts and manifests outwards accordingly. When things get bad and frightening and tenuous, and always remember, go within, tap into who you are, your own soul, and therein you will find the answers on how to proceed to get out of any situation that is not safe, and to allow good people into your life. And with time and practice and discernment, it's taken me nearly 59 years, people, you will recognise by their actions, words and deeds and heartfelt intentions towards you, by their lighting up when they look at you, who indeed are the good people and who have your back, front and sides, and who is proud and happy to stand beside you and say, you're my woman, or if you're a woman, say, you're my man, who will show you that they truly, truly adore and value and cherish and respect you by their actions and deeds. Not once, not a one-off frottering thing that flicks away into the smoke and ashes, baby, but consistently shines up for you and shows you that they are genuinely in love with you and ready, willing and able to be your partner. And you won't know that immediately. I mean, people do fall in love at first sight. God, I used to do that too. Oh dear goddess. But wait for them to demonstrate that they are real. And unfortunately, I was so damaged as a child that I thought mere scraps of kindness was enough of a demonstration. So I fell into that trap by marrying someone that wasn't genuine, didn't really love me or have my back, or was at the very merest instance the least bit loyal. And he was faithful to my knowledge. I don't think he was always faithful though. I have suspicions about that too. But he was so disloyal, bad-mouthing me constantly to his family and my mother and my family members. That is no way to have a marriage, people. That is not a safe, loving environment to be in or to raise children in, by the way. So I learnt the hard way in the cold face of agonies. And what I'm saying is, love yourself enough so that you can see the forest for the trees and step back and go within and say, is this person actually kind? Is this person actually loyal? Is this person actually supportive of me? And am I able to do the same for them in return? Because love is two people working together, supporting each other, not one person doing all the emotional heavy lifting, by the way. And as you saw me reading here, my psychiatrist even correctly perceived I was waiting, even back then in 2014, for the one who would demonstrate by his actions, words, deeds, energy and intentions that he truly does love and value and cherish me. So I'm still waiting, and I'm still dancing, and I'm still living joyously as much as possible. My once a week wild shamanic dancing, and I'm still waiting, and I may be waiting for the rest of my life. The one may never be ready to be with me, but in that case, he's not really the one, is he? Because the one will come, Charlie. Look at this little smoochy girl. Oh, you know, my smoochy girl. You're so sweet. You're my baby. Oh, my little baby. Oh, you was a little baby. The little baby birdie. So on that note, having snuggles with my little baby birdie. She's probably the equivalent of 45 in bird years. She's actually about 10 years old. But anyway, my little baby birdie and I, my smoochy one, he loves her mummy. She's the one. Have a beautiful, bright, blessed day, people of Earth, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. Bye for now from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm.